in at the door, and I'm locked out of YouTube again. They keep messing with me. So hopefully you guys will flip-flop over here. I can't access where you guys were. Sorry about that. I'm not seeing it anywhere. So hopefully you guys will join, say hello to me. Oh my gosh. Clear it out. But I apologize. I don't know why YouTube's giving me such a hard time. Or it's Google. It's more Google. So I'm going to send a quick little post real quick if that's okay. I just wanted to... I can't get in there to post it. Ugh. Cap chat, live chat. Oh, this is frustrating. Hopefully you guys will join me and figure out. Oh, gosh. I'm locked out of YouTube. I'm supposed to be getting a notification. And, oh, is it still saying I'm live? Oh, this might be me here. It is. Oh gosh, I'm trying to find. So bear with me. You guys can scroll through maybe another 1 or 2 minutes, and I'll do a quick little post. I can't. This is odd. Oh, I got somebody in here. Good. Thank you. Are you able? Did you totally lose connection? I don't know exactly. My phone is like buzzing and beeping. And I apologize. I'm locked out of YouTube again on my computer. So frustrating. It took me almost a week. So I had somebody oh, that might be me that locked in and out. Oh, so frustrating. Oh my gosh. All this. And it was just my neighbor pounding on my door. I'm gonna, hopefully you guys, see if I can create a post. It's not letting me. Switch account. View all channels. Oh gosh. This is so frustrating, guys. Am I live on the right account? No. Yes. Switch account. This is what the YouTubers choose. This is my important. Oh, I don't know. This is so screwed up, guys. Let's see, it's not. Oh, I have somebody here. Is this still me? Yeah, there. Hey, Zen. Good to see you. I've been having so many problems. I'm locked out of my YouTube, and I was in the middle of a live. Hopefully, the people will join us. Luckily, I could get in on my phone. But thank you for joining us, Zen, Joe. And gosh, that's so frustrating. I hope they find us because we had a group of people that were kind of enjoying it. And so, what are some of the red flags? Thank you for that thumbs up. I really appreciate that right now because I'm a little frustrated. It just kicked me out. I don't know. And I had somebody pounding on my door like angrily, scared the crap out of me. But different kinds of relationships with narcissists. We're going to talk about why it's so much more difficult and painful in the breakup stage. So, Joe, starting to get to know you a little bit more. Hopefully you're having a good start to the new year. But, this new year, I really want us to kind of focus on the healing that we can do. So we need to take charge of the things that we're going to do, the things we're going to think about, the way we handle things, because a lot of times, if we think about things logically, it's going to be a lot healthier than thinking emotionally. When we go through these breakups, it can really kind of tear at our self-esteem. A lot of us are like, why wasn't I good enough? And we start comparing ourselves. We start believing that our narcissist is happier than probably what they truly are, because they're just going to post the positive things. So it's going to look like they're having this great life. We also have to remember too that they're different. They don't process things in a deep emotional state. They just take things for granted. And then Joe says a narcissist is starting to sound a lot like a Gemini, and you're a Gemini. Gosh, it's so weird that you brought that up, because I was doing Geminis. you guys are supposed to be good with Pisces. Was your person or a Libra? A Libra. Um, but I was kind of, I don't know. Do you think there's something about astrology? Because a lot of times when you read horoscopes, things like that, they're pretty much where they can fit anybody. But some of the stuff I read today was like, maybe there's something to it, because it wasn't all complimentary. And um, I like the emoji. Um, and you're, oh gosh, do you ever wonder if you're a narcissist? Because sometimes too, we'll start doing that. Am I the narcissist? And we start questioning ourselves. And we do pick up narcissistic traits. So when we're going through the CPTSD or the depression, we are reacting to that brain trauma. And that's how the narcissist reacts, how they survive through life. So I have somebody else joining me. Sorry about the other live crashing. That was my neighbor scaring the crap out of me, pounding on my door. I don't get it. My heart's still beating. And I'm locked out of YouTube on my computer again. It took me a week to figure it out. Oh, it was crazy. I need a two-step verification on my phone, and it's not coming through, so I can't verify it. So it locks me out, and it's so frustrating. Doesn't make sense. Um, but I don't know, Joe. What do you think? Do you think? Because when we're going through our trauma, we're trying to get rid of that stress, that anger, and kind of get back to feeling normal. The narcissist does it for a different reason. Uh, they're trying to achieve the grandiosity that they were led to believe. Some of them are also trying to get that love that they didn't get, that they needed as a child, because we actually do need love. And when we look back, it's confusing on, how we were taken for granted. How they say that the person we fell in love with didn't even exist. So it's really hard to grasp that we were in love with a facade. And that can be quite devastating because sometimes we long to be back with this person, but that person doesn't exist. It's kind of like a mind fuck that we're going through. But I'm curious to know. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I know Sam, Mahogany, and John, hopefully they'll join us too. They got kicked out of the last one, and I don't have a way to post. But I don't know. Do you guys think it's going to be off to a great start? Or are some of you guys still struggling with certain things? Because I'd like to help you guys work through some of these struggles that we have. Because it can be quite devastating. There's going to be ups and downs that we're going to be dealing with, and the way we handle it is going to make a difference in our mental health. The quicker we can deal with certain things, the quicker we're going to move on and, hopefully have a healthy, happy relationship, or even just the relationships that we have with our friends and family. We can deepen it. I know a lot of us have been in isolation. Barrett, there. Hey, good to see you, Barrett. We're having a great new year. We enjoyed our New Year's party last night, and I got to sleep in. I'm finally back home. Um, so, uh, yeah, it's good to have you guys. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for those thumbs up. They definitely help with the algorithm. We should have more people joining us. I think it's going to take a second. Ooh, got another one. Thank you. Hopefully they'll join us. They're starting to join in, I think. Sorry, it's so frustrating. There, Samantha. Oh, I feel so bad. Did it just click out, or I don't know. Calibri. Yes. You got my connection off the mulled wine. What are you saying? I had too much wine? I don't know what you mean. Calibri. But Samantha, thanks for joining us. We got Barrett and Zenjo and Zen. We were talking about astrology a little bit. You feel like astrology is like a placebo effect, and astrology is becoming a huge platform, opening the minds of millions, and it persuades them to think they should act that way. Yeah, mind control, it could be. I never really believed in it because it was like, you're a compassionate person. You see the best in people. And I'm like, oh, so does my, you couldn't really see differences. They just chose to. And a lot of times too, you're a lifelong friend, and others will say you're very loyal. And it's like the same thing, but yeah, I kind of think it has that placebo effect. And oh, Calibri. They might have. I know. I don't know. I finally fixed my YouTube connection now. Locked out again because I don't know, something with sharing notifications and I got too many channels and it takes too long to figure out. So I just figured I'd go live on my phone. So I had it all set up. You guys were seeing my little fireplace over there. But somebody knocked on my door, scared the crap out of me. Turns out it was just my neighbor wanting to hang out. Don't scare me like that. But I'm so glad you guys were able to see it. So Sam, what did it do? It gave you a new notification. But yeah, like with astrology, the mind control, that's kind of what our narcissist does too, is they love to control our minds, manipulate. And sometimes it's so subtle how they do it. Other times it's very obvious. Those are the overt ones. The covert ones can be extremely dangerous because, you know, you don't know what to believe. And I love that, Calibri. Joe says, don't get me wrong, I do like that astrology does have the positive vibe towards it. Me too. I also like collecting stones, especially the rare ones like opal. Oh, opal's beautiful. I used to have a beautiful opal ring. I gave it to my daughter and I miss it. Sam says, control over the mind is a thing people can give over to someone else willingly. It's a thing of willing. Truly, hypnosis is much the same. It's with the soul and the mind. Yeah, and I told a story about when I was in high school about the thing I experienced with hypnosis. And it was very interesting. So if you guys would like to hear that story, since I have shared it, you're going to have to tell me you'd like to hear it, and then I'll go ahead and tell you. But some people, it seemed like they were truly under hypnosis. And it's fascinating what some people can be, in a sense, manipulated to do, to bark like a dog or just do crazy things. Also, being able to pretend to hold up a balloon for like an hour, which normally would be too exhausting. It would be something that we can't normally do. But the mind is amazing. And how we react to like different adrenaline rushes, how our strength increases. And you guys are so sweet. I appreciate those thumbs up helping with my algorithm. And JG, good to see you. John's still here. Thank you. I'm wondering if I should just go on by my phone. Got kicked out again. Like there's something up. So thank you guys. Sorry about that. I got scared with that pounding at my door. JG says, every day I overhear people talking about my life is like the Truman Show for me. One girl says Jay is famous. Another guy says to his friend on the phone, Jay is still out here. Yeah. So, gosh, well, at least you're famous. Yeah. Gosh. And everybody, a lot of it's perception too, and when our narcissist does those smear campaigns, those can be quite devastating, because a lot of times if it's not true, it's a smear campaign. If they're saying honest things, and then that's not a smear campaign. Calibri says, well, these critters practice witchcraft. I kind of showed a book of crystals to the female narc, and she borrowed it. They can. Yeah, they'll get into, and it's a thing about control. I don't even know if it's so much of that's where their heart leads them to believe, but they want to try something that can control other people or even their life. Sam says, yes, stay far away from people who practice witchcraft and astrology. It's not good outcome. Never. Yeah. Because, I don't know how true it is, but, they talk about the tenfold coming back on you, or at least threefold. And in life with karma, things like that. So whether you believe in actual karma, a lot of times the things unfold. They will destroy a life, whether it's through, the lies will eventually come out, or the shadiness. Well, look at Andrew Tate. You guys are, thank you. I love those thumbs up, helping with my algorithm, growing this channel so we can have our cruise and convention. But, Andrew Tate on top of the world, like a billionaire or more, and super cocky, had all the girls he wanted, easily discarded them. You know, where it was his way or the highway, it wasn't a two-way street, and he's going down. He's going down hard. It'll be interesting to see if he gets imprisoned. And, because of his entitled cockiness, he is facing rape charges and, pornography, sting, also the, gang kind of related things and the things that they found. Hugh Hefner was the same. Charles Manson. And oh, Keith, Keith, how do I say your name? Keith, Running Bear. Oh, Running Bear. It's Running Bear. Good to see you. And JG says, I like to practice witchcraft after I watch Harry Potter. And what kind of witchcraft do you do, JG? What kind of witchcraft? Because I've met some people, and sometimes you wonder, is it natural that some of the things come true, or is that actual witchcraft? Samantha says every action. We're going to get into that, Sammy Sam, because you are correct. Every action, and the more I study it, that is so true. Every action has a reaction. It will come back. My friends, whether it be good or bad deeds to absolutely everyone, no one escapes that. That is so true. And often it'll take time to unfold. Andrew Tate was on top of the world, and just the relationships that I see that fall apart, a lot of times it takes time, it builds up. But every little action, if I was like, hurry up and log on, like that's going to set you feeling a certain way, and then you might pull away next time, and it's like all I said was hurry up and log on. I was a little uptight, but everything starts changing things on how people feel, and then they're going to react to that, and they're either going to come closer or stay away. So Sam, it's so true. Every action really makes a difference. I had that one video that I encourage you. I shared a link to somebody else's video about that one little grain of sand that just turns into a hurricane just because of one little grain of sand. I gotta stop moving. I'm probably making you guys dizzy. You play with your wand thinking of Hermione. I wish I could remember. I can't remember the words. But, well, JG, okay. More power to you. She's a little cutie. John says telekinesis is definitely real. Huh. And like telepathy. What about astral projection? And Running Bear, be bold, keep those messages up. I take too long, I'm old. Give me a chance. Let the old people read. Running Bear says, plant an apple seed, get a banana. 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 Plant a apple seed, get a banana. I like saying that. Well, can I tell you, my daughter was all excited. She wanted to grow her own lavender for her wedding. She was so excited. And she grew corn. It's corn. She's like, can somebody tell me why I have corn growing instead of lavender? So she didn't have her. It was like a mix up in the seeds. It said lavender seeds and she grew corn. Poor thing. Calibri says, one of the flying monkeys I observed has been stalking you. So when she did it again, I told her off. I told her to scram, just stop it. And I told her what she's doing. Yeah, sometimes calling them out will put a stop to it. Keep us posted on that. And a flying monkey is somebody who does the work for the narcissist. Like the narcissist too chicken to do it. So they employ, not necessarily financially, but they get people to do their work. Whether it's to terrorize or find information or coerce you. And oh, Chief, I saw that. Or Keith, banana nana. I read it. JG, what does she do? How does she stalk you? Good question, JG. Calibre, how are you being stalked? Running bear. That's corny. That's corn. It's corn. You gotta try it. At least just once. You keep retracting it. At least I read it. Barrett says, I believe my ex-girlfriend has some narc and borderline traits. Usually females are more borderline than narcissistic. Sometimes too that goes to the emotions. Women are more emotional usually. I loved her so much. She was so cruel and manipulative to me during our breakup. What drives this cruelty? It's crazy. Whether it's like borderlines and narcissists both can have abandonment issues. Sometimes they're going to push you away so they don't feel this inevitable doom that they feel in their head that they're eventually going to get left. And sometimes it's due to neediness. It's they're trying to control the situation, but they're trying to control a person, for one thing, the wrong way. Just like if I tell you you're fat, that's not going to motivate you to lose weight. It's going to cause you to be depressed and gain weight. So whether it's a true statement or not, it's an unhealthy way to communicate with someone. So they just communicate in an unhealthy way, just like in that example, that the outcome always turns negative. So the cruelness is, just a reaction to all that adrenaline, all that, frustration, because they had that lack of the neurons and the neurotransmitters connecting. So they're pulling from memories that might not exist. They're trying to survive in an adult world with a emotional capacity of a child. And, I've given a lot of examples of the kids at school on their attention span or their outbursts or their need to stay busy or the energy that they go after. They go after the most toxic kid to them. So it's not always, it's to exert power, but it's not to exert power over the weak. They want to exert power over the one that's going to fight back the most. They like those fights. And it's hard to see, like, they like it in a weird way. They like it because it settles them. So it's not like they purposely go and do it, but the moment presents itself and it calms them. It actually calms them. They just got to get rid of that energy and they take it out on us, especially during the breakup stages. They go whole hog on the person they supposedly loved. And John says, do flying monkeys get paid for this? No, they're animals. They don't have a driver's license or a social security number. Oh, is that where the bananas came from, Running Bear? Maybe that's why you said flying monkeys. We should give them some flying bananas to feed them while they're flying through the air. Calibri says, oh, whenever I was in the parking area, she follows you like a dog. And these idiots make a game of following me in the garage. Yeah, there's times that it can get quite uncomfortable, even if they don't say or do anything. The fact they're following you can feel kind of threatening. And yeah, that sucks. Samantha says, God bless all. I'm going to hop off. Got so much to do. Love you all. Sam, thanks for joining us. And yeah, just pop in when you can and get some sleep tonight. Thanks for joining. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, Sam. And JG is Lily lurking. Not that I know of yet. Not that I know of yet. I think I'm a little earlier than normal. Calibri says, it is strange that whenever the narc wanted the flying monkey to do something, they do it. Yeah, it's like, they have a way of manipulating people, and, they choose people who like to help people. So they're going to give them some song and dance as to, why they should help. They're also going to show a one-sided situation where, I love them so much and I'm just concerned, when they're just trying to manipulate you. John says, don't go, Sam. We need you. Okay, take care of yourself. Yeah, John, we knows that we appreciate having Sam here, but she's been pretty loyal. She's been spending quite a bit of time with us, so we'll let her get some mommy duties done. But we'll see her probably tomorrow. John Moran, flying monkeys can be considered their puppets. Yeah, yep. And Kaliwi says, I recall that the female narc I caught listening through the gap of my front door. All I saw was her running away from my door. Oh, that's not cool. That is not cool. Oh, you've seen it in skateboarding, JG says. People want power over me now. It's pretty funny. Are you a skateboarder? Um, that's probably I don't know, but that's probably a different kind of dynamic of kind of like surfers and skateboarders. I wonder, interesting. And I'm not saying everybody's like that, but sometimes too, different groups, you know, there I go stereotyping, but I did give the disclaimer, not everybody's like certain ways. John says, after my so-called breakup with my narcissist, people were abnormally way too into my business because of her. Sometimes too, maybe how you presented it as well. Like, we're so happy and things are great. And it's like, wait, what's going on? Or they see the shady side of her and they're like really trying to figure what the real story is. JG says you get too much attention, perhaps talked about more, and it pisses people off that hate you or envy you, I would say. I believe it. Yeah, sometimes attention, there's either jealousy or people absorbing it too much. JG says punked. Punked. Hmm. Punked sucks. I have underwear that says punk. I don't know why. Um, that was a nickname that he gave me. He called me punk, so I bought underwear. It said punk on it. Calibri Flyer. So living in a condo, these narc women are in charge of a list of volunteers for the condo. With the amount of homeowners association that these crazy management is charging, who would do free labor? JG have tried. Kalibi, I find it very insulting to ask homeowners to volunteer to pick up litter around the condo. Oh, no, those can be expensive homeowner association fees. And I mean, it is insulting. I know. I've had some little notifications at my townhouse where um, they they give you things like duh. Like they talk to you like a kid, but um, yeah. Please volunteer to pick up. I don't know. Yeah, crazy. And we all can do our part, but paying the money, it's yeah. John says these days I'm going to be very careful with whom I have contact. And we do need to do that. We do need to be more cautious in the future. Also, not overly cautious to where we're shutting too many people out. Because there are some good people. Sometimes we might be afraid they're going to do some little trigger and we're going to, uh, kind of be a little too cautious. So it's good to meet friends through friends. Sometimes that helps. Uh, or, just take it slow. You got to protect yourself, definitely. You fear gravity? Running bear? Of the flying monkeys? Or skateboarding? Skateboarding. My daughter messed her leg up bad skateboarding. Horrible. Needed plates and pins and yep. Kalibi says, as long as I'm aware of my boundaries and red flags, I'm good. Yeah, and we have to be aware of that. That as long as we stick to our boundaries, yeah. Sometimes too, though, this is where it gets really hard with the narcissist. Is if we could trust them, if we believed what they were saying, and it was the truth, it's easy. The right people stay together. The wrong people go different ways. But the narcissist, they pretend that they like the same things that we do, and they say certain things that they build us up to knock us down. They ask questions to kind of get a toolbox of weapons that we share our vulnerabilities to us, and that's what they're going to attack us with, as opposed to that's off limits. I shouldn't go there. Revelations 9:11. You shared that again. You did John 10:10 also. My goodness, what is Revelations 10 9:11? Oh, and interesting about that is September 11th too. JG says, always have guns, always outnumbered. That is a strong reality in my life. Um, yeah, I know over in like Canada, I don't believe they're allowed to have guns. In the United States, you are, but ooh, as long, guns need to be in the right hands. That's all I know. Calibri says, and nowadays I don't hesitate to say no in different ways. I'd say no elegantly. And JG's always outgunned. Outnumbered, outgunned. Okay. Yeah, we can say no. We don't have to be an ass about it, but, like you said, nice and elegantly. And, just stick to it. Because if you say it, kind of dicky, then it's just going to cause animosity. Just calm and cool. No, I'm sorry. Nope, not going to happen. And John says, next time I see a UFO, I'll call Area 51. By the way, even though Christmas is basically over, I discovered a treetop ornament that actually projects snowfall effects onto the ceiling and walls. That's cool. That is cool. Samuel Colt. I don't know who Samuel Colt is. Like I said, I'm kind of naive on some things. Is he a skateboarder or something dealing with narcissism? Samuel Colt. Kalibi says, or just say, I have to check my schedule. I'll let you know if I can do it if asked. But we got to be careful with that because a lot of times that's what the narcissist does. And if you mean that you're going to get back with them or you're going to try to do it, otherwise, we do. And it's easy to say that. But, we need to be a little bit more direct. Like, unless you have an opening and you're willing to say it. So I know some narcissists, it will put you off and promise you a future or to get back with you. So, but yeah, there's a way, if you're seriously going to consider it. Sometimes we need to buy time though. And that's where narcissism comes in. It's a survival technique sometimes. JG says, John, have you seen UFOs? Did you know you are an alien, an Earth alien? My mom's an alien. She's from a different country. Running bear. God created a man. Sam Colt made him equal. Huh. I don't know who Sam Colt is. Does he have a cult? Does Colt have a cult? I don't know. I'm going to have to check into some of these names. John, what? Are you serious? No wonder I can do strange things. Because you're an Earth alien. Yep, surprise, you didn't know it. Long Colt 45. Oh, is he the one who made the Colt 45s? The different guns? Or is that a Colt 45? Is that a beer? Is that a beer? I don't really drink. I think it's both. Is it both? Or is it just a beer? You'll see my naivety coming out. You guys will enjoy it. Bimbo. JG says Earth people. Yes, not Earth aliens. Because all three. Okay, so I'm not a bimbo. I'm extra smart. I knew all three. I love it. Too fun. Or are you saying all three? uh, Sometimes it cracks me up how naive I am sometimes. Or maybe he's just happy to see me. You guys are crazy. You guys crack me up. That's what I love about this group. Is we have lots of giggles here. Comment below if you guys are giggling too. Here we are, Calibru, JG, and his Hermione stick. More power to you guys. John says, I'm referring to my invention projects, but sometimes I can't get certain people to get what they can actually do. I can't get certain people to get what they can actually do. Are you saying like having people realize some of the things that they can do? Because definitely our potential is way untapped. We could definitely tap into it more. And we're fascinating creatures. And it'd be so nice if we all work together, the things that we can achieve. But a lot of times, people become so selfish, whether they want the patent on certain things or whatever it is, that if we shared our knowledge, if we shared our resources, how much better life would be. And, with all that artificial intelligence, the, computer boyfriends and girlfriends, people marrying cats, uh, you know, I know one lady did it too. She lived in, I think, like a condo or a townhouse where she had to have, it was for couples. So she married her people. I think she like loved the cat like that too. Not that they had sex. I don't know about that part, but oh, world's changing right in front of our eyes. What do you guys think is going to happen with it's almost like we're trying to be fair so much that we're splitting each other, trying to be fair to transgender, trying to be fair to this, but we're in a sense at that same time clustering people. And everybody wants to be equal, but then that's going to cause where some want to dominate. They're going to want to dominate. People want to be noticed, so I think that's why they're uh, focusing on certain things. Calibri says sometimes it's good to have a sense of humor in a world filled with crazy, demented narcs. Yeah, and it's a scary world out there. What happened on New Year's? Right as I was logging in, there was something about I want to say Iran or somewhere out there. Was there a New Year's shooting? Is kind of what I think I was hearing as I was logging in. I just clicked it and it. So I don't know. I know there's like gunfire on New Year's, but I think something pretty big happened. Um, and I was also listening. It was pretty interesting. What is it, Idaho? Where, trying to remember the name of the state, Idaho, I believe, where the college um, killer was, where he killed 4 people. And it was interesting on psychopaths versus sociopaths, and that he was a criminal justice student working on his PhD, utilizing all the information he got. He wanted to get away with the perfect murder, but also too, uh, if he is a narcissist, he also would be very unhappy with the perfect murder because he needs to get that uh, acknowledgement. Eventually, he would let something out because he wants the uh, like, not that you should praise him, the acknowledgement that he did something like that. Kalibi says, it's the day after New Year's in New York City. A machete guy attacked a cop. My ex is a cop, and I'll tell you what, uh, this, he was a really good cop. I'll give him that. The things that they see, the things they go through. My ex got literally shot at. I saw a video of this guy not point blank. He was in his car, and my ex just pulled up. But you heard that it was a rifle he was trying to kill my ex with, and he had just murdered his mother in Indiana, coming through to Michigan. But the things that cops see, and uh, there are good cops and bad cops out there, but whoever that person attacked might have just, been going to work, trying to do the best they could. Like I said, my degree's in criminal justice. I wanted to be a cop. There's some good people out there that, or at least good cops, Um, the Idaho, yeah, he wants a reaction. You like the bad cops? Um, well, you're allowed to. um, it's a lot different too, the way cops were back in the day, like no holds barred. They did some crazy stuff. My ex's dad was one, and there was one time they tied somebody down below, like in a ravine, to a light post and left him for overnight, and he got like all beat up by, I believe, or stung by bees, and just the elements, and they can't really do that now, but it's interesting. They also used to, you know, let people off a lot more too if they were drinking and driving. There's that blue code, but yeah, Calibri, it's definitely good to have a sense of humor because we sometimes just gotta laugh it off. Like, okay, another day, on to the next. You guys are so crazy. But what are some things that you guys think that you should do a little bit different in the future? Because if we can take power over the rumination, that's going to be a big thing in the healing. I don't know if you guys still really struggle with that. I know John seems to be doing a lot better with that. Um, but we need to realize just how special we are, and to feel whole again. Once you feel whole, everything falls into place. When you feel whole, you're going to set your boundaries and stick to them. When you feel whole, people are going to be drawn to you, and you're also going to be able to exercise your boundaries. So you're not going to be taken for granted. And it's something that we have to do. Now, we have to remember we had some childhood traumas, we had certain beliefs and interpretations. Um, it's not this easy puzzle. It's a very fluid puzzle because some of the things that we learned from our previous experiences, the new person isn't always going to see things as our old people did. So, generationally, things change too. So, things that worked in the past aren't necessarily going to work now. Oh, you keep retracting. Running bear. Aw. I think we're going to call you racing bear. Or retracting bear. Barrett says, as far as romantic relationships, I won't get attached or truly love a girl until the relationship has been established for a long time. And I get that. I get that. We fall in love sometimes. They say it could take 4 minutes. 4 minutes to fall in love. There's, but to have, that's the thing too, is that's probably more lust. There's a connection and a desire. But we really do. Like you said, we need to get to know people because, people are fascinating, but how you interact with somebody, are you compatible with them? Do they have your back? So you can love someone, but if it's not compatible to keeping, you feel safe or comfortable, either hang on death row or let them out. It takes a bear 3 seconds to get to 60. Bears are fast. Bears are powerful. And the polar bear, he stands up and screams when he poops. But I think the polar bear is the largest bear that we have. But yeah, they're fast. They're amazing that they can swim like they do, and they can climb. They got I don't know. They're fascinating creatures. I don't want to see one in person unless it's at a zoo. Your ex moved from Arizona to Texas to be with you, and then as soon as we had a relationship issue, she was out. I was in complete shock. And that's the thing. That's why it's like, wait, what? Like, we're like, did I fuck up that bad? She's like, it could be something simple. Like, fold the towels. No, you do it. It's like, I'm not your slave. And then they're out. And it was like, I was just playing with you or whatever, to where, yeah, it's like, whoa, we didn't even work through it. And it was a lot of times, were they real relationship issues, like pretty deep, Barrett? Or was it something that would have been a little bit more lighthearted? Like it needed to be addressed, but lighthearted. Because they'll give up. And Barrett says, am I that awful of a partner? Yeah, we start thinking like, for somebody to leave that quickly and not even work through it, it cuts at our self-esteem. But it's a reflection of who they are. They don't know how to work through things. And if you really love someone, you work through it. You don't give up. Unless it's like, like physical abuse or extreme abuse. But sometimes it's just like compatibility and they just don't work through things. So Kalibri says, I feel and believe that we are a few of the awakened ones who see through these narcs and see their misdeeds. They could still be sneaky though. They can still be. You're right though. Uh, we are a lot more woke. I finally said it. I finally had an opportunity to say woke. I don't want to talk like that. I don't like that stating. All these woke people. I don't know. I just like what else don't I like? Hanged and hung. Like I'd say he hung himself and it's supposed to be hanged or something like that. I don't like that. But yeah, we're definitely more awake. I'm in my kitchen, guys. Have my Kool-Aid. Um, but you're right. We do start thinking were we this horrible person? You were short. It was a short depression issue I had due to family issues. Okay. I remember. Okay. I regressed into being a homebody and playing video games. She was upset at me, but did not communicate it verbally. She said, I shouldn't have to tell you to get off the game. I'm not your mom. Sorry, I remember you telling me that story too. Yeah, it's like, man, you're right. I did kind of go down that little rabbit hole of playing too many video games. She needed my attention. And that's the thing. Like, once you address it and you're okay with it and you're like, yeah, I got to plug my phone in before it dies. That's how you work through it. That's how you guys grow stronger. She would have gotten what she needed, but they just give up. And sorry, I just don't want my phone to die on us, guys. That's what happens when you travel. Ugh. Sorry, guys. It will die on us if I don't plug this in. Okay. So yeah, don't kick yourself up about that because, yeah, in hindsight, maybe you should have spent a little more time with her. But if it's true love and you're willing to give her exactly what she asked for, and it's also, you got to think about her too. She could have discussed it with you. Also, in reality, if you needed a little bit of time to process things, she wasn't sitting there cuddling. Did she ask you, can you come cuddle with me? Can we talk about this? What's going on? Oh, Barrett. Sorry about that. And Running Bear says, message retracted. Barrett says, I immediately stopped playing games, but the relationship didn't get better. Yep, because she was holding the grudge and punishing you. That's really sad when you're ready to realize, okay, that makes sense. I don't know. Was she with somebody else? Does she instantly have a new boyfriend too? Because sometimes too they give up because they're doing that monkey branching. Oh, I gotta plug it into my phone. Plugged it in. So Barrett, how soon before she moved on? Because sometimes too, it's an easy excuse. One in every city. Sometimes they're like that. Sometimes they're like that. And you gotta be careful with all the things that are out there. Like diseases and all that stuff. Okay. I was like, no. Okay. Sorry, guys. So she moved here and did not know anyone, but about 1 month into living together, she started new friends. I thought we just needed space, so I didn't think much about it. So I let her go make friends without me joining. Yeah, sometimes people were like, I don't want to seem needy. She needs her own friends. This is good for her. Um, you know, uh, yeah, she's searching for herself. Who, so who did she end up moving in with? Like a female friend, or was it like a love interest? And sometimes too, you don't know in today's day and age, just because you moved in with a female, it might be a romantic interest too. Um, that's what's hard about long distance relationships, is we don't always know the inner workings of daily life, how people are. Um, I'm sorry for that, though. I know that sucks. She moved a couple of miles down the road into so she went single. She did her own thing. Huh. That's got to be hard. Do you talk to her at all? Does she contact you over the holidays? A lot of times there's a Hoover. Sometimes they just move on. Um, she also didn't have a job, so I really felt bad thinking, am I really that bad? It's no, no context since she broke up with you in October. And how are you feeling about that, Barrett? Are you okay with that? Or are you like hoping to get back with her? Or do you see how unstable that is, that she didn't work through things that uh, and moving forward too, we have to realize that when we're going through depression, that's why it's important to recognize that when we are in a relationship, we can't just always put it on a back burner too when we're hurting. It's kind of like a mix where we need our partner to be supportive, um, but we also have to remember that they're trying to stand by our side. Was she supportive at all? How was she? Because sometimes too, uh, you just going to play games, or were you dismissive to her when she tried to say, "Can we just have dinner together?" Did she try it all during that time? Deep down, Barrett says, "I want to get back together only under the stipulation that we work on our relationship through therapy." She would not communicate with me. She gave me silent treatment a lot. And that's what it seems like. She's kind of handling it from a more childlike standpoint where she's not talking through it. She's letting it get bad until she's like, fuck it and done. As soon as you say that you recognize, that you need to change, and then they're gone. Lily, they were just asking about you. You say hi to everybody. You can stay for a bit before you get your kid. How is everyone's January 1st? Guys, feel free to join on in. Let Lily know. How was yours, Lily? Barrett says exactly right on point. Yeah. Because I see that with the kids at school and I bring up the kids at school because of the emotional state. It's like, I'm not your friend anymore. And they just instantly like shoot down a good friendship. And it's sad. Like I just want to tell the kids, just stop. You guys like each other, just stop. Um, but she let it go and then says it's all your fault. Well, part of it was her not discussing it. So, Lily, how was yours? I traveled back home. I'm back home and stepped in dog poop when I was unloading my car. I didn't realize I brought that into the house. So I still got to clean my shoes. I had just enough time to set up. So I got poopy shoes I got to clean. She's very attractive, Barrett says. 9 out of 10 in looks. She works out a lot. I think she just knew she could go out and find someone else easily. That's the thing, though, is you can find someone, but it doesn't mean they're going to be a good quality person. And Barrett says, I'm like, what about the loving moments we had? Yep. And sometimes, too, very attractive women have a harder time. If the man doesn't have enough confidence, people might turn away from her if she's like super perfect. Barrett says, just throw it all away the moments things get difficult. They like to do that. They like to do that. I told you my final discard was we were supposed to work on our family and get back together. And we're just waiting. I think I gave it like a 2-week notice. And it was on Valentine's Day. I took the day off, switched around my schedule with someone, and I get a speeding ticket. And that was the end of it. That was the end of it. We were supposed to get married, called off the wedding. So there was supposed to be enough love that we were about to get married. We had a daughter together, and oh, you got a speeding ticket. Fuck our family. It's over. You know what I mean? I mean, what's the depth in that? $150 that I would have paid. Um, it's sad how minuscule the thing when it comes to the big picture is. And also that silent treatment. You see that with the kids too, the huffing and puffing and not giving you eye contact. It's um, their go-to. That's how they communicate, how they survive. And also with the kids don't know how, sometimes they're like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I talked about my narcissistic neighbor. And, he finally got a girlfriend and things, he's got a good job now. And he seems where life's definitely on the upswing. And he was like really depressed. And, I tried asking, what's going on or what are you feeling? He's like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm sad. I just am. So they don't even know when things are good. It's always fuck my life. And there's some internal struggles that are going on. So Barrett, I get it. What about all the loving moments we had? We tend to think of the good, they tend to think of the bad. So we're thinking about the loving moments that they had, they hone in on the bad things. Like you forgot to take the garbage out or whatever. They're going to tear it apart instead of build it up. So Barrett says, I found her ex from 8 years ago on social media. They still have photos up from a long time ago. The interesting thing I noticed was that they are not friends on Instagram. Perhaps he got discarded too. Yeah. Um, Interesting. How does it work with social media? Let's say I, and this is hypothetical, but let's say I'm in a relationship with Kevin and then I take that down. Does Facebook take all the posts of, they'd still be up, right? Different, I'd have to purposely go through and take all those out. Is that how it goes? Um, or just any with the tagged name, do they automatically just take them out? The photos stay up. That's what I thought. I thought they would stay up. So, huh. I wouldn't put too much into social media. Some people are lazy. Like I'd probably be lazy. I'd probably leave mine up. Because it is a moment in time. It depends on the person I'm with. I don't know. I really haven't been with somebody where I need to do that. So I don't know how that would go. But then there's also the respect, take it down for your new partner. Um, but everybody's different. You're only going to see it from your perspective on why she took it down. So it does make you wonder, though. It does make you wonder. And he might have got discarded, but were they ever friends on Instagram? When did she get her account? Was it 8 years ago or was it 6 years ago? There's so many different things that we're never going to know the answer. And I get what you're saying. I think we all do it, where we kind of like, something's up with this. But we're never going to know the right answer, so we don't need to rack our brains on it. But I know it hurts. But that's going to be a pattern, though. So if you guys ever got back together, Barrett, she's always going to bail when it gets difficult. She's one that's going to give up when it gets difficult. Barrett says she also never posted a photo of us on her Instagram, but I didn't think much into it because she was moving all the way to Texas to be with me. I ignored that red flag. Yeah, a lot of times too, you get excited, you want to share it. It is kind of a red flag. Was she actively posting photos at that time too? It's really hard because people go in different, I don't know. Some people post for ego strokes. I don't know exactly with Instagram. Uh, I have an Instagram. I don't really use it much, but I know like Facebook. A lot of people will post that they're in a relationship. So she did that in the past with relationships. It would make sense she would do that with you. It shouldn't be something foreign to her or uncomfortable. But Lily, you didn't tell us yet. How is your? Oh, there you say. Yeah, Lily, how is your New Year going? Barrett says about ignoring the red flag, because sometimes too we tend to dismiss it because it's like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't have done that, or my friend, they didn't post the pictures. Um, so confusing sometimes, you know. I don't know. That's hard. Everybody's different. Uh, but if she was normally like that, posting lovey-dovey pictures of previous relationships, people usually continue those patterns. So it could be a red flag. For me, I don't know. I feel like I'm so single. I don't really know what I would do. But that silent treatment, that can that can be devastating. Kaliwi says, some of my support groups are in Facebook and Instagram. I specifically blocked the identified narcs. And I know Facebook, once, unless they've changed it, if you block, they can't unblock, or they can't block back. It's really interesting. So a lot of our narcissists will beat us to it. I'm not saying you are, but I'm just saying the narcissist can beat us to it, leaving us helpless. Uh, yeah, support groups are great. And sometimes, yeah, protect ourselves from stalking or comments that are going to hurt us. Go ahead and definitely block the identified narcs. Keep yourself as safe as possible. We got to hear how Lily's New Year's is going, how the first is going. And thank you guys. Those thumbs up really make me happy. Helps with the algorithm. And I think I think Running Bear, you still here? I think some of us got really tired last night, but support groups are great. They have that NAMI that I've been talking about. Sometimes too we get really down. Um, and it's good that we have this group going because we can interact with each other, we can understand each other, we can relate to each other. Because unless somebody's been through narcissistic abuse, they often don't understand it. A lot of times, too, oh, there's John, you have to go. A neighbor needs your help. All right, well, we look forward to seeing you again. Thanks for joining us, John. Always so sweet helping the neighbors. See you next time, hon. So I don't know, is Lily still here? We have to hear how her January 1st is going. But yeah, for her to give up so quickly, she wasn't invested enough. And oh, can I ask? I don't know if she gave you the silent treatment, why you would want to get back with her. If she did, it seem like she had your back. Do you think there's hope, or I don't know? The last thing your ex said to you was, "You always felt that I used you, but I didn't. I hadn't considered it, but now I wonder." Is there any validity to it? What made her say that? And during the relationship, did you feel that way? Sometimes they project things, but sometimes it's like, did we overlook certain things? Um, it's hard. It's hard in those kind of situations, and that's where the trauma base fucks the relationship up, because the narc is in a trauma base. And then sometimes when we get depressed or going through the CPTSD or whatever it is we're going through, anxiety, it's going to be a trauma based relationship. So that's why I keep saying it doesn't matter if they're a narcissist or borderline or whatever it is, but trauma based relationships usually fall apart because of that trauma, because it causes you to focus too much on yourself. So when you were with her, you were going through some trauma, the depression or stress over your family issues, and you focused on yourself. You got lost playing video games, but during the relationship, uh, you know, I don't, sounds like she moved in right during that time though. This was kind of sounding like. I don't know. I never felt used, but then I began to wonder if she used me and moved to a new city and start a new life too. Yeah, was she just a stepping stone? You know, who paid for her move? Did you pay for her to move out there? Was that like her dream city that she wanted to go to? Um, Lily says, "Take care, all. Happy New Year." Lily, thanks for joining us. And yeah, I'm probably going to log off pretty soon too. But I will join you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys for joining us. But I'm exhausted too. So Barrett, we will continue our talk. Lily, John, Calibri, everybody, Running Bear. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I will see you tomorrow night. Sleep well. Have a good night. Bye, guys.